Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another video. Tonight we have a late night insight, quick hit video on a house that is the sister house of Parfums de Marly, and that is Initio. Now, one kind soul in the Fragcom, either by nefarious means or because he really thought that I would like it, sent me this little decant. And inside of this little decant is some juice. And it is Rehab by the house of Initio. Now, I have actually done some Initio reviews, believe it or not. I don't actually own any full bottles, but I did a review, on Side Effect, okay? And I actually have a decant of Oud for Greatness, which I will review one of these days. And I have a decant of Absolute Aphrodisiac. So I will review this one of these days. And it's a house that I think is really rubbish, to be quite honest with you. And honestly, if I ever have to go to rehab, I think it will be the House of Initio that puts me there from trying to escape the horror of their portfolio. It is an absolute mess, a travesty, a slight against the Fragcom. They are a stain on Fragcom, is the way that I view them. And this is an absolutely tragic release. Honestly, it really is. The thing about Rehab to me is that it smells like a generic white musk heavy version of a designer fragrance that came out 6 years before this was ever released. So actually, let's take a step back before I get into the bashing, because this really pisses me off. Let's talk about the scent itself, okay? So it was released in 2018, and it's lavender. According to Parfumo, it's lavender, musk, sandalwood, bergamot, black pepper, cedarwood, and patchouli. So the notes really don't give you what this smells like, but I'll tell you exactly what this smells like. This smells like Spicebomb, okay? 100% my memory of Spicebomb. Now, I don't own a bottle of Spicebomb, but I do have Spicebomb Extreme, which has some similar DNA, and I've smelled Spicebomb in the store over the years many a times. Spicebomb is ubiquitous, okay? And it's an Olivier Polge creation, who I think Olivier Polge is a fantastic perfumer. I think that he could go down as potentially, one of the best perfumers ever to have worked in the perfume industry. And he's still so young. His father, Jacques Polge, was at Chanel for many years, many decades. He made some of my all-time favorites at Chanel. He made some amazing fragrances for the House of Ungaro as well, and Tiffany for Men. And so, Jacques Polge is an icon and a legend, and definitely probably the best father-son combination ever to have lived. They're going to go down in history, I think, as the greatest 1-2 punch father-son combo perfumers of all time. And so Olivier Polge's creations, outside of just what he's doing at Chanel now, which is amazing as far as I'm concerned, also, you look at his designer releases. He obviously did Spicebomb, which we're talking about. He did Midnight in Paris, which I absolutely love. He did a Salvatore Ferragamo fragrance, which doesn't get too much love anymore in Fragcom, but it used to. It was called F Black. He did this. This is fantastic stuff. He did and of course, the original Dior Homme, his best designer from 2005. The silver stem is absolutely fantastic. And I'll review this one of these days too, because this is a fragrance that gets overlooked in Fragcom, and I do think it's a good designer. So Olivier Polge, master perfumer as far as I am concerned. And so for a niche house to then come along 6 years later and release something like this, it really almost offends me. And I'll read you the little blurb from the Initio website. Let's read it together, shall we? Rehab promises an ecstatic return to the pleasure of perfume. Oh, well, that's what we need Initio for, of course. I wasn't enjoying perfume until Initio came along and saved the day. The harmony of its natural raw materials is revealed by a skillful combination of bergamot. If it wasn't midnight right now, I'd be laughing at this. Natural lavender, black pepper, and various spices, It reaches an ultimate balance by lying on a bed of natural sandalwood. And musk, perfecting a modern fougere olfactory experience. Well, um, just having lavender in a perfume does not make a fougere, Initio. I hate to tell you this, but maybe call me before you write some of these briefs next time, and I'll make sure you don't, step in it. But this is not a fougere composition, in my opinion. Fougères usually have other things involved, like geranium and coumarin or tonka or something, and I don't see any of that listed. So unless they're just saying that this is an incomplete note listing, I'm going to say Initio has no clue what the hell they're talking about. And so Rehab, to me, basically is a fragrance that offends me not because so much of the smell, because actually the smell, I mean, it's okay. The smell is okay. But what really offends me is that the temerity of the house. So first of all, you release a fragrance that was basically so heavily inspired. I'm not going to say it's a clone because I guess you could argue this does its own thing one way or another, but it's so heavily inspired by a designer fragrance that was released 6 years before. It's just sickening to me, number one. Number two, these high-priced niche houses, when I buy niche, okay, when I buy a niche fragrance, I buy it for one reason and one reason only. I want to smell art in a bottle. I don't want to smell like what everyone else is smelling. What the hell is the point of me buying Rehab for $370? That's the retail price for 90 mil. They couldn't even give you the extra 10 mil. 90 mil for $370. What's the point of buying that if I'm just going to smell like Spicebomb? Explain it to me, please. I'll wait. It is just, to me, this is such a lackluster release. But, the prices is one thing. And, to be fair to Initio, I guess I should be somewhat, blind justice weighing the scales and being fair. Because if you take houses like, so this was 2018, Initio released this. 2019, Dior releases this. This is Spice Blend. And it smells a little bit like Spicebomb. And this is in their Privé line. And this is just as expensive as Rehab. Dior, and this was a year later. So Dior probably looked at the Initio and went, well, shit, we can do that. Let's make our own. And look at the name. Look how creative the name is. They've got Spice Blend, or they've got Spicebomb. What are we going to do? We're going to do Spice Blend, guys. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go to the bar. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. It's just the lack of imagination in the fragrance world nowadays just dumbfounds me. And so for me, my 2 cents, if you said, Ramsey, I like Spicebomb, but I think I want like a niche version of Spicebomb, what should I buy? I would tell you to buy this. This is Histoires de Parfums, 1899. 1899 came out 1 year after Spicebomb, so it did come out a year later. But 1899 to me is if I was going to wear like a niche version of Spicebomb, this is what I would wear. Okay, and I'll review this one of these days. I'll do a full review of 1899. But I like the additional spices in here. So I like the freshness of the juniper, and the killer note for me in this is that Florentine iris. And I absolutely adore iris, and it just makes it a little bit more posh. It makes it feel like you're actually getting something for your money. And the price on these Histoires de Parfums are extremely competitive, let's say. And I love that they do these little 15 ml bottles. I wish more houses did these, because when you have a big collection, you don't need 100 ml or 90 mils like Initio sells their fragrances in. I know you could also get, I think, a 10 mil. You can get a 10 mil, little thing from Initio, but they want $80 for that, or $79 or something. And it's like, it just hurts. Price per mil on that is absolutely brutal. So there's also some Hédione in here. which is a material that has this almost jasmine. I think it's a Firmenich material that has this almost jasmine-like smell, but it doesn't have the indolic feeling of jasmine. And so when you look at the imagery of Rehab, all of the photos, from the Initio website, the sister company of Parfums de Marly. Don't forget, the sister company of Parfums de Marly. I know they love it when you say that. The photos are all like white cotton balls and dandelions and white little fluffy sheets and clouds, and that's sort of the imagery that they want you to think of whenever you smell Rehab. And so if I so here's the thing. The reason that I do this, and there is a reason, there's a method behind my madness. You guys may not understand it, but it is there. The method behind my madness is that I will never own a bottle of this, okay? And if you go to YouTube right now and you type in Initio Rehab and look at the reviews, it is filled to the brim with YouTubers who didn't pay for their bottles, mind you, going on there telling you what a fantastic fragrance this is. And not only that, but why you should pay for your bottle. They didn't pay for theirs, but why you should pay for yours. And not only that, but why it makes sense to pay. I heard one guy explain why it makes sense to buy this at full retail. And I was like, what? You have to be kidding me. So to be honest, if this was $50, okay, I wouldn't buy it. And the reason I wouldn't buy it is because I would just buy Spicebomb because I want to support Olivier Polge in creating. He created something unique. There was nothing like Spicebomb in 2012. It was a fragrance that took sort of the designer world by storm. Now, you could argue that having it in a grenade with a pin is maybe not the most classy bottle presentation, but it just sells. The thing just keeps Viktor and Rolf afloat. It's one of the best-selling masculine designers of like the last 10 years. And so, to copy something that is like so ubiquitous now in the market, just the gall of the house of Initio just irks me. It just really makes me angry. So I wouldn't buy it even at $50. I mean, even some of the houses, and I can hear you guys in the back of my head saying, well, you like Roja Dove, but at least Roja Dove changes some things every now and then. He doesn't just take something and put it out and it smells so identical. You can pick up Terre de Hermes vibes in Oligarch, but there are some differences. There's more fruits and more of a chypre construction. You can pick up Guerlain's Heritage in Danger Pour Homme, but he added the civet and the cumin, and there's just at least some change, at least something. For the kind of extra money that you're paying, give me something different. And Initio just, it's honestly, it's one of the houses that I really, really do not like. I do not like Initio at all. Never have I smelled anything from them. This, and you can see how much of this I've worn. I've sprayed this before bed, and it absolutely disgusts me every time. This actually makes me more ill than than Rehab. I'll take Rehab over Absolute Aphrodisiac. This sort of warm milk thing going on in here is absolutely vomit-inducing, disgusting. So I am inspired to do these reviews because when I go to YouTube and I look at all these other reviewers and all they do is just, just gush from, they just gush from the depths of their souls about how great of a fragrance this is, and oh, it's so fantastic. And the only thing I can say about this, the one thing I will say, and I have sprayed this, I've worn it to bed once before. This is the second time I've sprayed it on, wearing it to bed today. It was not my scent of the day. That's why I do these late night insight videos, because I don't need to wear this as my scent of the day. I can a couple, and that's the thing. Also, you don't have to send out full bottles to these reviewers. A little 5 mil, one of those 10 mil discovery things you guys do is absolutely fine. If someone can't make their mind up with 10 mil, they shouldn't be a perfume reviewer. They don't need the whole bottle, but they do it because it sells. People show the bottle. It creates demand, People see the person holding the bottle. They're like, I want that. And they have a couple drinks and they drunk by the Initio fragrance that they regret the next morning. And so you know, I'm inspired to do these type of reviews, and there's good and bad. So the bad is that I'm not reviewing the stuff I love. I should be reviewing these amouages, the roses I love, the vintage fragrances I love. I should be doing individual reviews on that. Instead, I'm here telling everybody about how horrible Initio Rehab is to me, allegedly. My 2 cents. And you know, and it feels like with modern perfume nowadays, the problem is that I could take 99% of the new releases and just make this video, but change the name of the fragrance to whatever new is coming out and put it out, and that would be it. That would be my you know, just imagine whatever stuff comes out in 2024, 2025, just imagine this video just on repeat for other releases, just saying exactly the same thing over and over and over and over. And so part of me feels like I'm banging my head against a wall, but the other part of me does feel like I'm making some progress, because people in the comments, they tell me, you know, they tell me that there's very few people doing this sort of thing for YouTube. So I feel like there's a wind at my back. You know, I feel like I'm doing something that is worthwhile, and that I have a purpose, because someone has to do this. It's a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Someone has to be the one to stand up and tell these companies to their face the truth, because no one else is. And Russian Adam had one of the best sayings. He said, as an artist, you know, when everyone's lying to you, or let's not use the word lying, but let's say let's say that they are having a moment of groupthink, okay? And everyone's telling you, oh, you're just the greatest artist, and everything you put out smells fantastic. You don't get any real feedback. So you start to believe that. You know, you watch these YouTube videos of these guys just gushing all over Rehab about what a great fragrance this is, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure there are people at Initio who work there who believe it. They really think that they are one of the best niche houses around. They truly believe it. And you know, so what can I say? I mean, I think you pretty much get my drift. If you don't, go back and watch the video again, and eventually you'll get it. But I do not like this stuff. This is a huge thumbs down for me, because of what niche fragrances should be. This is not a niche. This is a designer fragrance that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the price of what you could get Spicebomb for, and marketed as niche. And I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that nowadays. And I'm tired of these companies thinking that, you know, that obviously there's a reason perfume, the markup in perfume must just be so great, and everyone just sees dollar signs, and they're all going to be millionaires off of it. You know, they see their they see their fellow businessman doing it, and there's these new houses that just pop up every day, and it's always the same. It's always $300, $400, $500, $600 a bottle, unless you're like Amafi, and then it's like $7,000 a bottle. But it's always something like that. Very rarely do you see a house and it's like reasonably priced, high quality fragrances, right? Nowadays, it's always the same story. The Emperor of Napoleon, his personal perfumer, started this house, and we just uncovered it in 2023. You know, it's always something like that. By the way, they're $7,000. And it's just like, oh, you know, it just like, it hurts. It hurts the soul. So that's pretty much how I feel about Rehab. Glad I get to do the video. I wouldn't have done it without a friend sending me just some juice. So thank you to you, perfume god person. And you know, I'm gonna keep doing these videos, and we'll just slowly chip away. Just slowly chip away. It's all you can do. And stay in your little corner. Stay in our little corner of Fragcom. So if you're watching this, I appreciate you being here in my little corner of Fragcom. If you are new to the channel, because I'm sure if you're watching this and you don't know me, this is probably a little bit of a shock for you. So I have a ton of content that I put out in the last 18 months. So if you're new to the channel, go back and watch some of my old content. There's some amazing stuff on the channel from within the last 18 months or so. There's also some great playlists if you want to explore brands, or, you know, I've got some different types of videos I've done. This is not a top 10 in Perfumer's portfolio this year in perfume, all this good stuff. So, so yes, let me know what you think of Rehab in the comments. Let me know what you think of Initio as a brand. And thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.